A rainy night. A wrong car. And two worlds that should never have crossed paths. She's a university student who can barely pay rent. He's a billionaire CEO accustomed to having everything under control. But when she gets into the wrong car thinking it's her taxi, something unexpected happens. He could simply send her away. But he doesn't. And that single decision will change both their lives forever. What begins as an embarrassing encounter transforms into a connection impossible to ignore. He tries to resist. She tries to forget. But destiny has other plans. This is the story of how a simple mistake can reveal the most unlikely love, and the truest. Ji-won is late. Again. Heavy rain falls on the streets of Seoul as she runs with her soaked books, trying to get to her third job of the day. At 22 years old, she balances medical school with 3 jobs. Waitress during the day, tutor in the afternoon, and convenience store attendant at night. The money barely covers rent for the tiny apartment she shares with 2 other students. She grabs her phone. The taxi app shows a black car arriving. License plate 3947. She can barely see through the rain. On the other side of the city, Kang Min-jun, 32 years old, CEO of Taeyang Corporation, waits impatiently inside his luxury sedan. He just left a meeting that decided the future of 1,000 jobs. He's exhausted. His driver went to get coffee. Ji-won sees a black sedan. License plate, she can't read it properly in the rain. But it's black. And it's stopped. Must be hers. She opens the back door and quickly gets in, throwing her soaked backpack on the seat. Sorry for the delay. Can you go to Dongmak Street, please? Silence. She looks up. And freezes. The man in the seat beside her is not an app driver. He wears a suit that probably costs more than a year of her tuition. Swiss watch. Rigid posture. And he's looking at her with a mixture of shock and curiosity. I. Ji-won stammers, her face turning red. Sorry. Wrong car. I'll just. Wait. His voice is deep, controlled. You're soaking wet. Min-jun doesn't know why he said that. He should simply let her leave. But there's something about the way she trembles, holding those wet books like they're treasures. Something that makes him pause. I need to go, she murmurs, embarrassed. Where to? Dongmak Street. He looks out the window. The rain is worse. No taxis in sight. How far is that? About 40 minutes, by bus. She bites her lip. Really sorry about the mistake. Min-jun should let her go. But the image of her waiting at the bus stop, drenched, at 10 at night. My driver is coming back. We can drop you off. Ji-won blinks, surprised. What? No. I can't. It's not a request. It's basic common sense. He's already texting his driver. And so, in a luxury car that costs more than she'll earn in 10 years, Ji-won sits in silence, feeling completely out of place. During the ride, they talk. At first, awkwardly. Then, surprisingly naturally. He discovers she studies medicine, that she lost her parents young, that she works 16 hours a day to pay for her studies. She discovers that she doesn't discover much. Min-jun is reserved. But there's something about the way he listens, really listens, that makes her lower her guard. When they arrive at the address, she thanks him profusely and runs out into the rain. Min-jun keeps staring out the window. What's her name? The driver looks surprised. Sir didn't ask. For the first time in years, Min-jun smiles. Slightly. I didn't, did I? 3 days later, Min-jun can't stop thinking about her. It's ridiculous. He, who had models and heiresses at his feet, can't get out of his head a student who got into the wrong car. Ji-won doesn't forget either. But for her, it's just a strange memory. A glimpse of a world that will never be hers. Until the impossible happens. Taeyang Corporation is launching a scholarship program. Min-jun, on a whim, or fate, decides to personally visit the medical university that will be their partner. And there she is. Sitting in the library, studying under dim light, the same books beside her. Their eyes meet. The shock is mutual. "You," she whispers. "You," he repeats, and something in his chest tightens. Min-jun fights against it. He can't get involved. She's too young. From a different world. He has responsibilities, a company, a reputation. But he finds himself returning to that library. Offering help with the scholarship program. Making sure she's selected. Not because of favoritism, he convinces himself, but because she truly deserves it. Ji-won resists too. She's not naive. She knows men like him don't stay with girls like her. This is a fairy tale. And her life is harsh, cold reality. But when he shows up at the hospital where she's doing her internship, saying he was just passing by, she feels her heart race. When he finds her crying after a patient died in her hands, and simply stays there, in silence, holding her hand, she knows she's lost. They start seeing each other. Always by chance. Always with excuses. He takes her to dinner after exhausting shifts. She makes him laugh in a way he'd forgotten was possible. He discovers she's stronger than she appears. She discovers he's more vulnerable than the world sees. One night, after she saves a child in the emergency room, Min-jun finally gives in. "I can't stay away from you." Ji-won looks at him, tears in her eyes. "This is madness. We're from different worlds. Then let's create our own world." The kiss is inevitable. Desperate. As if they'd been waiting their entire lives for it. But different worlds bring real problems. Min-jun's family is traditional, powerful. They've already chosen the appropriate wife for him. The daughter of another conglomerate. When the press discovers the romance, the storm begins. Ji-won is attacked online, called a gold digger, an opportunist. Reporters chase her. Her life becomes hell. "Maybe they're right," she cries in his arms. "Maybe I'm not enough for you." "Don't say that. Never say that." Min-jun holds her as if she might disappear. But the pressure increases. The company board threatens to remove him. His mother begs. Ji-won sees his empire crumbling because of her. On a cold night, Ji-won makes the hardest decision of her life. She leaves him. A letter. No goodbye. She disappears. Changes cities, universities, cuts all ties. "I love you too much to be the reason for your destruction," the letter says. Min-jun collapses. For the first time, his perfect control shatters. He searches for her. Desperately. But she's gone. 6 months later. Min-jun is empty. Cold. Back to the machine he was before her. But something has changed. He realizes he built an empire, but lost the only thing that truly mattered. He makes a decision. At the most anticipated press conference of the year, Min-jun shocks the nation. "I'm resigning as CEO of Taeyang. Because I've learned that success without love is just a beautiful prison. And I'd rather be free with the woman I love than a prisoner of expectations that aren't mine." The news spreads like wildfire. Ji-won sees it on TV, in her small apartment in Busan, and her heart breaks and heals at the same time. He finds her. Of course he does. She's leaving the hospital, exhausted after a 24-hour shift. And there he is. Thinner. With dark circles under his eyes. But with the most alive eyes she's ever seen. "You're crazy," she whispers, tears streaming. "For you. Always. You gave up everything." "No. I chose everything. I chose you. I chose us." I chose a life worth living. She falls into his arms, sobbing. I love you. So much. And I can't live without you. I never could. And so, what began with a mistake on a rainy night became the truest love story both had ever lived. Because sometimes, the best destinies are the ones we never planned. Sometimes, getting into the wrong car takes you exactly where you're supposed to be. And you? What did you think of this story? Do you think Min-jun made the right choice by resigning? Or should Ji-won have stayed from the beginning? Leave your opinion in the comments. I really want to know what you think about this kind of love. The kind that defies everything. If you love this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every week there are new stories of impossible romances, intense dramas, and endings that will make you believe in love. And stay tuned because the next videos are going to be even more exciting. There's a secret CEO, forced marriage, revenge and redemption, you can't miss it. Thank you so much for staying here until the end. Really. It means everything to me. See you in the next video.